Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And as we know, the finances of the S&P are questionable, to say the very least. Obviously, with the police looking into the missing 600,000 Peter Murrell being arrested, and then all sorts of shenanigans revolving around the monies they are getting coming from dead people rather than from anyone living. But now there is another couple of interesting little snippets that have arisen. We're going to take a look at the article that contains them. It's quite interesting. One is to do with the fact that they accepted a foreign donation, which is totally against the rules, and that may have to be repaid immediately. And then there is the matter of the 107,000 that Peter Murrell magically loaned to the S&P. We use the term loaned in a very loose connection there. But which may also have broken the rules and therefore must be repaid. And that's all very fine, but of course the S&P haven't got anywhere near enough money to do that. They are completely broke. So we'll have a look to see what will happen, but it could break them. It would be funny if it did. Anyway, we'll take a look at the article. Here goes. So the S&P are facing questions over mystery foreign donation, which the party was told it should have returned. Emails show former Chief Executive Peter Murrell said they'd received a donation, but a watchdog warned it was invalid because the donor wasn't on the UK voters' roll. And so therefore, you've got foreign money which you're not allowed to accept. And there he is looking like a supercilious prick. So you got this money which you're told you're not allowed to accept. He's accepted it and he has to return it. And they haven't got the cash. So former Chief Peter Murrell is facing questions over a mystery offshore donation, which the party was ordered to return. Emails obtained by the Sunday Mail show Murrell, husband of former First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, was dealing with a bequest worth thousands of pounds from a foreign donor in March 2021. But when he flagged the money up to Watchdog, the Electoral Commission, he was told to pay it back because it breached donation rules. Political parties are required to detail on public donation records when a so-called impermissible donation has been returned, and so they haven't done this. So they were told they have to return it, and they haven't, and we know that because no such record exists for the 2021 gift to the S&P, leading to calls for them to reveal what's happened to the money. And the S&P has denied that the loan was ever received by the party. Well, if it was never received, why did you declare it in the first place? What you means is, oh, we've had it, we've hidden it, we've spent it, and it's gone, and we ain't returning it. It is understood that bequeathments like these are forming part of the major police probe into the whereabouts of more than £600,000 of donations to the S&P, which were meant to be ring-fenced for independence campaigning. Murrell, his wife and former party treasurer Colin Beattie, MSP, have all been arrested as suspects and released without charge, blah, 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 we know that. Last night, opponents called for answers to this mystery. Scottish Labour's deputy Jackie Bailey, MSP, said, "This eyebrow-raising case raises yet more questions for the SNP and the chaos in their finances." And here's the email. So this was to Andy O'Neill from Peter Murrell. Andy, I hope you keep me safe and look after yourself. I guess we won't be the first ones to receive a legacy gift from someone overseas who isn't or hasn't been on the electoral register within the required timescales. But given it's a first for us, is there an expert paper on what to do or someone I can speak to? So there is. So he's admitted in that email that they've received this money. So we know that they have. Now they're saying they haven't, but there's the email confirming that they have. Scottish Conservative Chairman Craig Hoy, MSP, said, "Rather than obsessing about a de facto independence referendum, the onus is on the SNP to come clean about this donation and urgently clarify if it's being paid back, in line with the clear guidance from the Electoral Commission." Of course it hasn't been paid back. They're not going to pay money back. This is the SNP. They don't do things like that. The donation has emerged via a Freedom of Information request made by the Sunday Mail to the Electoral Commission. They really hate this Freedom of Information, don't they? The SNP absolutely hate because they don't like information going out. It sets out in an email, which we've just read, when he wrote to Andy O'Neill, head of the Electoral Commission Scotland, to state that what should they do? Like I said in the thing, they're asking what to do with the stuff that they've just received, which he confirms in there. This is the first week. In other words, they have received it. Mr. O'Neill responds to set out how the donor must have been on the UK electoral roll in the period of 5 years prior to death. He says if you have already received a request and it is impermissible, then you must return it within 30 calendar days to the donor or person acting on behalf of the donor, i.e. the estate. All perfect. I know what to do now. In other words, he knows he has to return it. The Sunday Mail can also reveal the SNP was warned it had broken the law over £107,000 loan to the party from Murrell because it was recorded a year late in Electoral Commission records. So they've got this money they've received from a foreign national, they haven't returned it, and now they have broken the law with regards to the £107,000 loan. Who is going to court? If you've broken the law, somebody has to pay. Somebody has to take responsibility, and somebody has to stand in court and be sent down. Who's it going to be? It's got to be Murrell. It absolutely has to be Murrell. In documents released under the Freedom of Information, the SNP is informed in a letter from February this year that its failure to correctly report the loan was a potential breach of Political Parties Elections and Referendums Act 2000, which could end up with the SNP receiving a fine. I hope it's a big, big fine. But the EC letter added, on this occasion we decided it was not proportionate to refer this breach for the investigation and instead issue with appropriate guidance. The loan from Murrell to the SNP has also formed part of the police probe. Police Scotland said its investigation was ongoing but could not comment further. So they've broken the law, but apparently they've got away with it. For the loan, but they haven't returned the other monies, which they have to return by law. So that's 2 laws broken. They claim to be the party of openness and honesty. You can totally trust them, especially with matters of money. Oh yeah, right. So last night, despite Murrell's email stating it had received the legacy gift, a spokeswoman for the SNP disputed it had accepted the money. She's just plain outright lying. She said no donation was ever received. Lie. So there was no donation to return. Lie. The Commission agreed with our view that overseas status meant that legacy would not be given to us. But you've had it. He's admitted it in the email. Asked about the late reporting of the loan, the same spokesman, presumably, for the Electoral Commission said, while the loan was reported late, taking into account all of the circumstances, including the party's good compliance record, really? We decided to address the late reporting, in this case via guidance to the party. In other words, they're not taking it any further. But even so, they are dodgy people. He is so dodgy. He admits he's had the money, and then they say, oh, we didn't have the money, look away, nothing to see here, put the money in the bag. Honest to God. And they claim to be honest and trustworthy. They claim this. Not a chance are they honest at all. You couldn't trust them as far as you could spit a rat. Honest to heavens. Anyway, I'm going to finish there and come up. They would steal the dummy from a baby's mouth, wouldn't they? They are so untrustworthy. And yet they claim that all this, oh, we're honest, you can trust us. They outright lie. They lied about the money. They broke the law twice. Both times over finances. You can't believe them. They are absolutely crook, aren't they? They are... Dick Turpin, honestly, at least Dick wore a mask when he was robbing you. Not these buggers, they're doing it quite plainly. Anyway, I shall round off there with that thought in your heart that they are, untrustworthy as hell. So, until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't ever give these people any control over money. They just can't. They'll steal it. And goodbye.